the king will give his daughter in marriage, exempt from taxes. And David said, really? Now, while he was asking, his brothers, one of his brothers heard him asking, and they blasted him. You! What are you doing here? What are you talking about? Why are you asking? You came here to watch a battle. They called him insolent. You know your insolent heart. But then they say this. They said, and with whom have you left those few sheep of yours? I'm talking about despising the days of small beginnings. They said, with whom have you left those few sheep? Couldn't they say, with whom have you left those sheep? But they have to throw in the word, those what? Few sheep. And God, in the scriptures, the Spirit lets us know the heart of his brothers as opposed to the heart of David. His brothers had that demeaning, despising spirit. If there are few sheep. And what was David's attitude? How do I know David was different from them? Because of the testimony he gives King Saul. He says, that man is a man of war. All his life you're young. And David said to the king, again, something that reveals David's heart, again, people miss it. He says, oh, I'll fight him. Sir, I'll fight him. Because your servant has been watching over others' sheep. And when a bear took a lamb, took a young one, I followed it and beat it and delivered that young one. If a lion came, I took it by the beard, beat it, killed it, and delivered. So David had the heart that goes to fight for one sheep. The kind who fights for one sheep. Now, where else, Pastor, do you find that heart? It's the heart of Jesus. How do I know? Because he leaves the 99 and goes after one. That's David's heart. That's why God said, I found a man after my own what? Heart. So, to David, there's nothing like few sheep. And I don't want you to look at these precious people that have come as few. To David, there's nothing like few sheep. One is enough to make me go after a lion. One is enough to make me go after a bear. One means a lot to me, and one means a lot to Jesus. That's how their hearts connect. But to his brothers, there's few sheep. Now, when Samuel the prophet was going to anoint, and they gathered all his brothers, David's brothers, and he wasn't even called. And the prophet said, oh, surely the Lord's anointed. God said, no, don't anoint them. I have rejected them. God says, I've rejected them. He doesn't say it's not them. He says, I've rejected them. Meaning, he considered them and rejected them. Now, why did he reject them? On the basis of their heart. Are you following these precious people? On the basis of their heart, rejected them. He says, I've found a man after my own heart. So he finishes all of them. He asks Jesse, do you have any other child? He says, yeah, I have a boy. He's in the bush, taking care of sheep. And God says, anybody with a heart to take care of sheep will have a heart to take care of people. You see, Pastor, if you fight for a God, you'll surely fight for a human being. Alright? So if God sees you fighting a bear, risk your life for a God, he says, when it comes to my people, you'll fight. And that's why David fought many battles for Israel, and he never lost any. He was a man of war, because God brought him to be the one to deliver his people. He says, I see a heart that can fight for my people. Now, the reason I took here was to say this. Zechariah says, who has despised the day of small beginnings? So when David looked at sheep, he never said they are few. They are worth fighting for. Today, some pastors are called, and before they come, they say, how big is the congregation? How big is the congregation? When I was coming, I didn't ask him how many people do you expect. I said, I'm going to come. If there are 10, 5, 3, I'll be there. Praise God. Now, the biggest mistake we can make is to look on this and say, it's my opinion. The Waganda say, yes, Konkodima. Very much. You can interpret for your neighbor if you don't know what it means. The biggest mega churches we know today, many of them began small fellowships like this. In the house. In the house. In the pastor's sitting room. You could be looking at this and wondering, you called friends, you said, come. Then you're wondering, we're going to be meeting everyone every Sunday evening. Every Sunday evening. Some of them are here because they wanted to help you because it's the beginning. Next Sunday, if we are 6, it's okay. Jesus said, feed my sheep. Feed my sheep. But I want to tell you, we have a message. That's a message because I understand it so well. I'm a preacher of the finished work. So, Romans, let's open it. Chapter 5, verse 1. Verse 1. Alright? What does it say? Therefore, being justified by faith. Huh? Therefore, being what? By faith, we have peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ. Look at that. Look at that. You can camp on that for a whole month. Being justified by faith, we have peace with God. Who doesn't want peace with God? Who doesn't want peace with God? It's not peace, we are not at war. But that's Irene in Greek. If you read it in Hebrew, it will be shalom. And shalom means we have everything. We are healed, we are blessed, we have a happy family. Shalom means wholeness, completeness in every area. So if we were to say it in Hebrew, it would say, being justified with God, we have shalom with God. Being justified, we have shalom with God. That means we have everything with God. Meaning, justification is a powerful key to living a full life. When you understand that, everything begins to fall into place. You see that? Because being justified means you've been rendered the way you desire to be before God. You desire to be righteous, He says you're righteous. You desire to be holy, He says you're holy. You desire to be nice to God, He says you're nice to me. Before you do any of those things, He says you are. And that becomes the key to your success. This message, He's going to be unveiling. Just keep coming. Just keep coming. Just keep coming. You will love the journey. You will love the journey because that's a very deep message. Praise God Almighty. I want to pray for you. I want to pray for you and your life. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Lord God, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Is this carpet clean? Is it clean? Okay, let's kneel down there. If it's clean. Are your knees okay? Do they hurt? Are they okay? Alright. Hold your wife's hand.